Hey loves, today we're going to play a very fun tarot game. One of the easiest ways to learn how to read tarot cards and the interpretations and the meanings of the cards, the symbolism, is by playing fun little games. There's all kind of fun games you can play with tarot. And today I'm going to teach you how to play the Who, What, and Why Tarot story game. I saw this online. This is not my game. I saw it online. I thought it looked like fun, and I copied and pasted. It was like, cool, I'm going to play this game. So I'm going to use the Elemental Wisdom Tarot. So underneath this video, you're going to see the link to this particular deck, and you're going to see the directions in case you want to play this game yourself. Okay? It's a very easy game, and it really does help you, like I said, sharpen your tarot skills. My name is Queen Alset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to anybody and everybody who's interested in tarot. If you want to get your own reading done, please email me or hit me up on social media. Underneath this video, you'll also find all my information. So let's get started. So the first thing we have to do is get a deck. We have my deck. It says that I have to shuffle my deck and find the first court card. Okay. So we're just going to take it out. It's a beautiful deck. And we're just going to shuffle it. And the first court card we come to, we'll take out. Okay, a little shuffling. Alright, so now we're going to go through until we find a court card. I'll just throw them up here. 8 of Swords, not a court card. Pentacles. More Pentacles. Cups. Knight of Wands. We found our first court card. Here we go. Alright, so it says here, put the court card up there, and let's see what it says about the court card. This will be the who of the story. So the court card is who we are. This is our character. We are the Knight of Wands. Got it. This is our who of the story. Then we have to keep going and find a pip card. So we're going to shuffle a little bit again. Just a quick overhand shuffle this time. Alright, since we already did a good one. And we're going to look for the first pip card. We got it. The first card is the 8 of Pentacles. That is a pip card. A pip card is just one of the minor arcana. Okay, we got it. Then it says, let's see, this will be what? Alright, so finally, continue through the deck until you find a major arcana, which will be the why. Note that you're not supposed to tell everyone what cards you picked. So if you're playing this game with the group, don't tell anybody the cards you picked. Just put them to the side. So let's find our why. We got to find one major arcana. Alright, now I'm going to look and see. Oh, the first card is Death. That's our major arcana. This is going to be a juicy story. Alright, so this is what it says here. It says that we are to make up a story now. For the 3 cards that we picked, the story should be told in first person, with the narrator being who and keeping the character for the court card. The story should involve an event indicated by the what. The who character should learn a lesson from the story, which is why she needs to have the what experience. He or she needs to have the what experience. After this person has told the story, the other people should try to guess what the cards were that were picked. In other words, who was he, she, what happened, and why did it happen. Then it is the next person's turn to pick cards and make up a story. Note that a simpler alternative is to just use 2 cards, who and what, and not worry about the why. Alright, so this is really good. We got everything that we need for this. So this is going to be fun. So on the spot, we need to come up with a story. Now, mind you, you guys can see the cards that I'm using, so you're going to know. But this is the kind of story that I would come up with. First of all, I would say that since I'm who, I am the Knight of Wands. And what happened to me? Okay, the pip card is what? I am the Knight of Wands. And what happened to me is I was working my butt off, trying to perfect my craft. I used to I was a blacksmith, and I used to forge things out of metals, precious metals. I was working and doing my best. had become an apprentice to the master blacksmith that was over me. I was having a good time. I liked working with the fire and the heat. I liked getting out my aggressions and, learning how to do things. It was a very fun time for me. And then it says what? Wait a minute, hold up. Let me make sure. Okay, that was what, and then it says why. So this is what happened to me. And why did this happen to me? Well, it was very simple. This happened to me because I did not have a family. I had to go and be a young journeyman as a very young child, and that's how I came into this particular position. Now, the story or the moral of what this was supposed to teach me was supposed to teach me how to transform from the child that I was into the man that I became. Like I said before, became a journeyman as a young child. A journeyman is usually like about, depending on what culture it is, they can be as young as 5 years old. And what they do is they start to help out a master and just kind of like run errands for them and do things for them. And as they get older, they learn the master's trade. So this was something that helped the Knight of Wands to transform and grow up and one day become a master blacksmith. Okay, so that is one way you could do it, and we're going to try another one. Let's pull another one. So the first thing we pulled was what, guys? It was the court card. So we're going to pull another one, because that was a very cute story, very basic, just a coming of age story, nothing too traumatic. I thought some trauma was going to happen, but it looks like, nah, just needed to, coming of age kind of thing. So we're going to let's find our court card. All right, no, that's not it. Trying to move them as quickly as possible. That's not it. That's not that. We got the Hermit. We got Justice. Aha, court card. Aha, the King of Pentacles this time. All right, so that's who? I am the King of Pentacles. All right, so what happened to our king? Let's just go through. They said the first pip card for this one. Our king was married. And a very successful marriage at that one, so that's good. Okay. And why did our king need to get married? What was the situation? What's our Major Arcana? Okay. I got to go through until we find a major. I think I found one. Victory! The king had never really been happy. The king was a bachelor far longer. I, as a king, was a bachelor far longer than I really wanted to be. I really wanted to find a wife. I wanted to marry. I wanted to start a family. And I really wanted to love. So the lesson that I got here from the World card is I pulled all that together. I was able to triumph. I was able to find a beautiful bride and complete. My whole world is complete. See? So, like I said before, now I'm telling you guys the story, but in your particular case, the person has to guess. So, based on what I said, would that person be able to guess that it was the Four of Wands and the World? We'll do one more. All right, we need a court card. First card was the Page of Cups. I love the Page of Cups. All right, we're going to look for a pip card. Not the second one. That's another page. Oh, we got the Four of Pentacles. So I am the Page of Cups, but sometimes I am a little bit stingy. I have a tendency to be a miser. I do come across a lot of money. Everything I touch turns to gold. But I'm not very giving or very generous, and I'm a little bit stubborn. All right, let's get a Major Arcana. That's not it. These are all queens. All the queens coming up. Okay. And why did this happen to me? Why was I so stubborn? It says the magician. So I needed this money. I needed this money to buy equipment, because little do people know I am secretly a magician. Now, if I was doing this with a group of people, I wouldn't use the word magician though. I would say that I was secretly looking to do some magic. So because I wanted to do this in secret, I had to save the money and not tell anybody what it was for. I couldn't tell them what I was spending it for. So it looked like I was just being greedy, when in reality, I really needed the money. I didn't have any of the elements that I needed to cast spells or to be able to help people in need with potions. So I kept the money just to get those things so I could help my village. Okay, so those are 3 different ways that you could do, a very simple story, and then you sit and see if the person can figure out what the cards are. Also, you can do this game by yourself, like I'm doing right now. You can just pull 3 cards at random and see what kind of story you can come up with. So I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna look for court cards. First court cards I come to. They have a great, this particular deck has a really great texture to it. Aha, here's my court card right there. I have a page of coins. So that is our who. Here is our what. The page of coins has fallen in love, but it is a very connected, a very spiritual kind of love. So the page is in a good place as long as the person is returning their love. So now we're going to find out our why. Well, it was time for the page to learn temperance. The page had been kind of spoiled and obsessive in his youth, and now it was time for the page to find love and comfort and a spiritual connection in the arms of another. This will balance out the page and help the page have more compassion and let their heart grow. So the page can be a productive and positive member of society. Now the page is already in school and working very hard, but now the page also has love, compassion in his heart. So that is how you can use the tarot cards to tell a story. And the thing about it is that you have to know what the card means to make up the story. So you can write these down. You can play this game with other people, like in the one that I was telling you guys. After the first person did their story and they figured out the cards, which is probably the really fun to try to figure out what cards they are, because it could be several different cards. But after the person does that, then the next person, and so forth and so on. So now you have this big story. Now, mind you, if you really want to be creative, you can build off the story. So let's say this was the first story and I finished telling it. And now the second person can come up with their cards and they can say, okay, so the page and the page's bride are spiritually connected and extremely happy, right? But let's find us a court card, and we can say but. I would just use the ones I had before. They're right here. Okay, so we said that, he found himself extremely happy, but the next person comes and says, but the king has some reservations because the king just got married too. And the king doesn't think the page is really learning those lessons, the lessons that we mentioned before of temperance. So instead of the king just being happy for the page, let's find a major arcana. Oh, instead of the king being happy for the page, the king started to have an affair with the page's wife behind his wife's back and the page, who is his son. So the king is sleeping on the side with the page's wife, and she is with child, and the page thinks it's his child, but it's really the king's. Okay, and then the third person can come up and build upon that story as well and say, okay, well, the child that the king had is a page of swords. The child never knew that the King of Pentacles was his real father. He grew up thinking that the Page of Pentacles was his real father. However, let's see what happened. However, oh, this is a good one right here. Something happened where the page was sneaking around, because the page likes to sneak around the castle and eavesdrop on people. And the page was eavesdropping and heard the king and his mother talking, and found out the Page of Pentacles is not his father, but the King of Pentacles is. And why was something so horrific? We got to find a Major Arcana. Why was something so horrific happen to the poor page? The Page of Swords is minding his business. Well, because the lesson to be learned here is how to get away the snares of the devil. When you are caught up in a bad situation, what do? Do you do your shadow work? Do you let the devil tempt you into bad things? What do? This lesson will teach the page not to do things like what his father and mother did. Not to be involved in entanglements that you got swept into from temptation. So as you can see, you can just keep building on the story. So now the next person comes walking up. They pick their court card, and they're going to say, well, the Knight of Pentacles also found out about the paternity of the child and could not handle the information that was going on in his family, and he ran away. He ran far away to the hills and deemed he would never return again. Why did this awful thing happen that hurt the Knight of Pentacles so bad in his family? Well, because it was time for that knight to start a new beginning. He needed to walk away from his family. He was never going to be his own man standing in his father's shadow. So as you can see, the more cards you pull in this manner, you can just keep building on the story based on how many people are in the room. If it's 5 people, 10 people, 15 people, you only got so many court cards though. There's only 4 for each suit. So that means you only got 16. So the most you can do this is 16 rounds, and then you're going to have to either start over again or use a different deck if you have more than one deck. So this is how you play this particular game. I think it's so much fun, and let me know if you have played this before. I'm going to definitely use this as a video hashtag. So I think it's going to be something like hashtag, I don't know, who, what, why probably would be good. Who, what, why tarot or something like that. And maybe some of you guys to choose to play along, and we get to hear some of your wild stories too. So you come back soon, because I got a lot more to say. Bye-bye.